If you've seen the last video and you're wanting to continue to hear what was happening, I'm hearing that you're being interrupted. Like, you're like basically with the, and if you didn't see the last reading, what the message was is the reason why you look so badly upon yourself, or why you have such a low self-worth for yourself, is because people aren't actually mirroring back to you who you actually are or what you're actually capable of. So you actually are the luck, the fortune, the power that makes people feel like a king. Like, you are the source, you are the sauce, the light, the inner light. But they're not trying to pay you or give you the respect that you deserve, because it makes them feel insecure. It makes them feel indebted to you, and they don't want to do that. So they'll rather keep you disillusioned from who you truly are, so you don't leave, so you don't change ways, so you continue to serve them. And it's an ego boost because they have this amazing light serving them. And even though they're not all of that, they feel like this king, and they're weaponizing your power. And I didn't even see this card yet, and I just already felt it is called to me. They're weaponizing your power. They're weaponizing your greatness, and they're using you as a selling point for other people, whether that be making themselves into a victim or making themselves look better. It's either way, they're trying to use you for their own gain, because they just see the treasure in you. But they would absolutely hate if you took control of your own light, of your own gift, of your own power, and just seeing yourself as so amazing. Like, it truly would baffle them. It would destroy everything that they were trying to build, which is they're just trying to build a world where you don't matter as much, when they're just trying to destiny swap with you, because that's their destiny. They aren't really, they're just not really there. And it's not saying that they can't be there. They're just not. They're not trying. They rather fight and argue. They literally rather destroy someone else than have a happy home. They rather be this knight going into war instead of having a happy home. That's what I'm saying. And then they rather carry these burdens instead of change. They rather carry these burdens. They rather have all these burdens, all this baggage, right? And then they're going to use that to tear you down, to keep you sad. Like, it's crazy how this works, because they're literally using you to feel better. See how it is? When they're around you, they feel like they're a whole new person. They're sucking up all of your energy of being loving and caring. But because you're not happy with yourself, they are sucking you dry. And they're going to use up every last drop, because they would love to see what you being empty would do. They don't care about love. They just want to see what this journey of you being sucked dry by them would leave you as, because they are insecure with you being the light that you are. In fact, I'm hearing that they tried to stop you. Like, they saw, I'm hearing is they saw like the star that you are, and they literally tried to stop you before that you got that big. But since it didn't work, they just left, collective. They literally left and are now sulking in regret about how they did you, because they wish that they came from a place of love, but they just genuinely can't. And it's really sad, because I mean, anybody is really capable of love, but they're so envious, they're so scared that they can't collaborate with you properly, because they're so envious of you. They're looking at what they got. They got 3 sticks, man. You got this empire, right? And they got 3 sticks, and they're looking at their poverty stricken, because they're in their poverty stricken mind. They're looking at their poverty, and they're like, damn, like, I don't mean to curse, but they're like, geez, I'm like so behind compared to collective. So that's why communion keeps coming out in reverse, because they destroyed the communion because of insecurity. And not to say they were the only one being insecure, because you were insecure too, but really you're insecure because you weren't seeing, which I didn't mean that crack, that voice crack was confirmation, because whose voice cracks like that? Not mine. It cracks like that. Only young men or young boys or just immature people, like immature people that are not fully through puberty. That's what the energy is given. Is given immaturity. Is given someone that couldn't handle not being the spotlight. What is this? They didn't have humility because this is in reverse. I am an apprentice on the path. So you thought that this person was looking out for your highest good, and they were not. They were just using you for their own story and their own game. But when you became the main character in their own game, they did not like that. But that's what happens with true inner light. That's what happens with true inner love. The fact that, not inner love, but just love all around. The fact that you were kind and loving, even if you didn't have inner love or self-love, you were just kind and loving to everybody. And that's what helped you grow. That's what helped you transform, because you weren't sitting there. You weren't like, even everybody goes through insecurity, but you weren't reveling in it. You would feel the emotions. You may even share and express them, but you go on to do the things that make you feel confident and that make you feel confident. To where sometimes maybe that day you was insecure, but now today you're the bombshell. Now today you have the inner strength. Now today you're that tiger, wielding your strength all around, showing people your inner glow, feeling proud of yourself. Maybe that day you were feeling down, but today you're coming up, and that's beautiful, collective. That's literally beautiful, because even if the communion, like the communion keeps coming in reverse, even if people don't want to, let them have their choice. Let them have their choice. Let them have their decision, because they will regret it in time. They're gonna look back and realize that they were close to you. They had you, and they chose to throw you away. They're literally gonna look back and be like, I had collective, and I chose to just let them go. I don't. They're literally gonna sit there and think about this. Like, they're gonna think about this, and they're just gonna support you from afar. And you can just accept this. You don't have to condemn them, collective, because they already have condemned themselves. So that's the reading today, collective. That if you are feeling like you're going through so much hardship, that just know that your inner strength and your inner light is being seen by everybody else, and the only reason why you can't see it is because they don't want you to. So don't give them the satisfaction. This is the Heart Story. Thank you.